What if a simple tick bite could lead to a serious illness, even if you're not spending much time in the wilderness? Alexis O'Hannion, the co-founder of Reddit and husband of tennis star Serena Williams, recently revealed that he's been diagnosed with Lyme disease, despite having no symptoms and spending very little time in areas where ticks are common. So, how can someone living in a more urban environment get Lyme disease? Alexis O'Hannion, Serena Williams' husband and a Reddit co-founder, revealed on X this week that he has been diagnosed with Lyme disease. O'Hannion said his diagnosis came after a full battery of health scans. The father of two, 41, who has no symptoms, was surprised at the news since he spends so little time in the wilderness and Northeast. Here's everything you need to know about Lyme disease. What is Lyme disease? Lyme disease is a bacterial infection caused by a bite from an infected black-legged tick. The condition is most prevalent in the upper Midwestern, Northeastern, and Mid-Atlantic states. A 2022 report found that Rhode Island, Vermont, and Maine had the highest incidence rates for Lyme disease, with New York placing 6th among U.S. states. According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, the number of Lyme disease cases has been steadily increasing for decades, from 3.74 reported cases per 100,000 people in 1991 to 7.21 reported cases per 100,000 people in 2018. Estimates suggest that some 476,000 Americans may be diagnosed with Lyme disease each year. Typically, the parasites are more active from April to September, but due to mild winter temperatures, ticks are emerging earlier this year. That means ticks will be active longer, increasing the risk of infection. The New York State Department of Health notes that ticks can be active when outdoor temperatures reach 40 degrees Fahrenheit.
As the weather gets warmer, New Yorkers are naturally spending more and more time outside. Because ticks can be found outdoors in most areas of New York, we want to make sure people are educated on how to prevent tick bites and tick-borne illnesses like Lyme disease.
State Health Commissioner Dr. James McDonald told the Post in the spring,
"It only takes one bite from an infected tick to become seriously ill with debilitating symptoms. So we recommend that people practice some simple prevention measures to avoid being bitten and to protect their health."
How do you contract Lyme disease? Borrelia burgdorferi and, less commonly, Borrelia mayoni are the bacteria that cause Lyme disease. In the northeastern, mid-Atlantic, and north-central US, the bacteria is spread primarily through the black-legged tick, also called the deer tick. The western black-legged tick is the main culprit in the Pacific Coast states. These are areas where ticks are more frequently infected with Lyme disease. However, Lyme disease has been reported in almost all US states. In most cases, ticks must be attached for 36 to 48 hours or longer before Lyme disease can be transmitted. Removing a tick within 24 hours of attachment can significantly reduce the risk of contracting the illness. Not all ticks carry the bacterium, and a bite does not always result in Lyme disease. Johns Hopkins Medicine reports that, depending on the location, less than 1% to more than half of the ticks in a given area carry Lyme disease bacteria. How do you get tested for Lyme disease? The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommends a 2-step blood test for Lyme disease. If the first step results in a negative, no further testing is needed. But if the first step is positive or indeterminate, also called equivocal, the second step needs to be performed. The overall result is positive if both tests are positive or equivocal. What are the symptoms of Lyme disease? Signs and symptoms of Lyme disease can appear 3 to 30 days after an infected tick bite. An early sign of Lyme disease is an erythema migrans rash. The rash typically begins at the bite site after 7 days and gradually increases in size. Rarely itchy or painful, it may feel warm to the touch and can appear on any body area. Occasionally, the bite clears as the rash grows, creating a bullseye appearance. According to the CDC, other symptoms can include fever, chills, headaches, fatigue, muscle and joint aches, and swollen lymph nodes or rashes. If left untreated, long-term symptoms can include facial palsy, heart palpitations or irregular heartbeat, nerve pain, inflammation of the brain and spinal cord, loss of concentration or memory problems, and, most commonly, Lyme arthritis. How is Lyme disease treated? Oral antibiotics, including amoxicillin, doxycycline, and cefuroxime, are the standard treatment for Lyme disease. People treated with appropriate antibiotics in the early stages usually recover quickly and completely. Lyme carditis, when Lyme disease bacteria enter the tissues of the heart, can be treated with oral or intravenous antibiotics, depending on severity. Some patients might require a temporary pacemaker. An initial episode of Lyme arthritis, when Lyme disease bacteria enter joint tissue and cause inflammation, is treated with a 4-week course of oral antibiotics. However, some patients may require a second intravenous course of antibiotics if the issue persists. A vaccine for Lyme disease is not currently available, but clinical trials of new vaccines are underway. Celebs who have Lyme disease. O'Hannion joins other stars who have been open about their battles with the illness, including Justin Bieber, Bella Hadid and her mom Yolanda, Shania Twain, UFC fighter Jim Miller, Avril Lavigne, and Amy Schumer. How can you prevent tick bites? The most efficient way to protect against Lyme disease is to use insect repellent. Wear clothes that cover your skin in areas with high tick populations and check yourself for ticks. Before you go outdoors, know where to expect ticks. The CDC notes that they typically live in grassy, brushy, or wooded areas, or sometimes on animals. Use products containing 0.5% permethrin or buy clothing and gear already treated with permethrin. Use EPA-registered insect repellents. To avoid contact with ticks, steer clear of wooded and brushy areas with high grass and walk in the center of trails. When coming indoors, check your clothing for ticks and remove any you find. The CDC recommends tumble drying clothes in a dryer on high heat for 10 minutes to kill any remaining ticks. Examine gear and pets. Shower within 2 hours of coming indoors. Conduct a full body check after being outdoors. Be sure to check under the arms, in and around the ears, inside the belly button, the backs of knees, in and around the hair, between the legs and around the waist.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more awesome content. See you in the next one.